Hello Fun Robotics Network. My name is Anthony, and today we're going to look at how teams are able to score so many points with an autonomous that's not the highest scoring. We will see strategies that have been used before come to life, and adaptability to teams that can adjust and overcome the other alliance. This match has a lot to figure out in DECODE here on FUNalysis.
This video on Fun is brought to you by our viewers, supporters, members, and also in partnership with the following. True competitors know that every second counts. That's why Kettering University challenges you to dive in right away as a first-year student. Participating in robotics programs helps Kettering students secure a valuable co-op. Whatever your interest, Kettering gives you more space to work faster and win faster. Learn more at kettering.edu/first. DECODE Robotics is inspiring teams to build better robots with their new array of FTC team options. Check out their updated bevel gears and Maverick hex shaft motors, Planetary gearbox options, and 6mm hex components and shafts for extreme power transmission. Go to studecode.com/robots to learn more and apply for discounts.
For this match, we're going to be looking at the Romanian South League tournament, which happened just this past weekend. We're going to be looking at particularly the Blue Alliance, but both of these teams, we have team 19090 Terro Cruz on the Red Alliance and followed with team 19099 H-Tech. On the Blue Alliance, we have team 14270 Quantum Robotics and team 21476 Vi Cyber. So we're going to see that in this match, right, its autos are immediately starting. We see that Quantum is going to be playing close and Vi Cyber is going to be playing far. We're going to see this as the match continues to progress, how they keep the strategy going. We can see that they hit 5 of those, right? They cleared the gate, and in doing so, actually messes up Quantum's autonomous because they're not able to grab 3 there. Because they go for the off the ramp and then those. So that's some points of area that teams may want to consider whenever they're making their autonomous is those balls may not come out in a straight line and they can mess up some of those spike marks. So is it worth it to actually have an auton that goes for the gate before the spike marks? So we can see even though the lines got messed up, Quantum's still hitting all of those. And they're done actually at this point in autonomous, which is kind of surprising for a team that is ranked number 2 in the world at the time of this recording. They only had a 14 autonomous, which if they had gotten more would probably have been like 15 or 16. And they only have 3 pattern, as we can see here, which is very surprising. It makes you wonder, where do we get all the points from the matches and their OPR? And we'll see that as the match goes on. So we can see we have a 39-54 lead, with the Red Alliance only scoring 9, so 5 less, but having the same amount of pattern points. So we can see Quantum immediately cleared the gate and is just launching those up as quickly as possible. Those are just fast, and they just go back and forth, right? We could see Vi Cyber has still not moved, which is insane because in a match in Romania that you don't really want to not be moving, right? So this is actually kind of insane, and we can see, okay, Vi Cyber finally moves and is going to be shooting far. They're mostly accurate for the most part, and we're going to kind of see them play the wall. They're going to be going back and forth a lot along the wall to the their human player station and staying out of Quantum's way, which is going to be very beneficial, as we can see later on in the match. Yeah, Quantum is just going over to this Red Alliance station. They're playing some very risky games. Considering that Red Robot is right there, they could actually cause Quantum to get some penalties, but even still, they're just going to go right for it, right? They're going to clear the ramp, and they're going to grab right out of the ramp. So they are just pushing the limits with this. They're going to go and kind of be a team that people are going to want to watch out for and kind of learn from because they're doing so well. And we can see that they're either going for the gate and the tunnel between, or they're going to the Red Alliance human player station. It just kind of depends on what robot's there, where the most artifacts are, and all that sort of things. So this Red Alliance, I mean, they're trying. One of the teams is trying, but they just can't. We can see Quantum is just scoring after scoring. We can see Vi Cyber scoring too. They're definitely not as strong shooting far. It seems like their aligning is not the best, but that's still not preventing them from hitting some good scores and everything like that. We can see that they already have 57 seconds left, 53 artifacts scored to 27, basically almost doubling what the other alliance has. So we can see that it's it's a very one-sided match, and we can see from Quantum clearing it and the Red Alliance not going over to the human player station, all the artifacts are mostly on this side of the field. We can see that there are no artifacts on the blue alliance, which is shows that uh, Quantum's doing a very good job of cycling and clearing, because if they're leaving no artifacts on the blue alliance, red is not getting as many. So they're doing very heavy scoring amounts, as we can see here, and that's going to be very key. Getting all the balls to one side of the field is going to be very essential to later gameplay, because trying to uh, go as short as possible distances to score as many as possible is going to be very efficient. So we can see that, they're still playing some efficient games right there, and there's Red's trying to go for it, but Quantum's still going to do it. And we can see, Quantum actually shoots two of the balls into the human player station. Something for us to keep in mind, because technically that is legal, because they're not actually throwing them, they're just rolling. And it's something that teams should look out for, because if they're able to push them or roll them across the ground, you can do that to where you can get like certain colors or things like that, so that later, whenever you want to possibly try to make motifs and things like that in the late game, they can have those ready. And we can see with 37 seconds left, right? They're getting to that time where, okay, they need to start thinking about making those motifs. This is something that will help benefit them, because then they can go and grab them and ensure that they have some in their stock ready to go. So we can see at this point, yeah, there's 66 and 29 right now with 37 seconds left. So you got to think they had 14 in auto and 66. So they scored 62 in Teleop so far, which is a crazy number to think about. So we're going to keep going as the match progresses. We see Vice Cyber switching up their strategy. We see them now going into the close zone with Quantum Robotics instead of just shooting far, which I think has benefited them greatly, because we can see now that they're being very consistent on all those shots. So we can see that this red robot is unfortunately disabled, but yeah, these blue robots are both going really close and just cycling them like crazy, hitting them, go, 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 right? Vice Cyber decides to park with 8 seconds left. And then there's some collisions here, which causes some penalties, because Quantum is in the blue robot zone and is being made contact with by the red robot. So it's going to be at least one penalty, maybe more. It's unclear to see if uh, they actually hit the blue robot, and we'll see that in scores whenever we go and look at those. But we can see this kind of contact here, right? And then, this red robot, they call that, and then gets partially parked. So, crazy match. We can see that at the very end resting, right, they had 86 and 5, so 91. So, looking at scores, we could see that the blue line scored 407 to 122, which there was 90 points of penalties came from the contact there, and then I think there was some clearing of the gate. But either way, they still scored a 317. So 54 autonomous, 14 in auto, right? Not the best, not the highest we've seen. It's still very good for this level of gameplay. We've seen some higher ones, but then again, if teams were only playing one side and then didn't plan to play the other, that's something that teams have to be adaptable with and kind of have both options. So then looking at that, right, they scored 72 classified and 5 overflow. So that right there is an insane number, because most of the time we don't see teams actually hitting that high of artifacts, but this quantum robot, they were just chugging along and trying to score as many as they could. They are, and that shows with them being first in Teleop with 156.69 OPR in Teleop. So they're just killing it. Their auto OPR is 101st in the world, with it being 37.88 points. So not the highest, but again, this team is making up for it in Teleop with how quick their robot is and how fast they shoot up the artifacts. as well as how their driving is so aggressive and yet doesn't get them penalties. And then in the end game, they are 27th with a 15.46. So at least guaranteeing the park and the full and the partial. And they obviously can get some of those if they obviously have a double, or if there is another alliance that hits them, like in this case, and then causes them to get more of those points. We can see that because of that, both of them were in the full, and they ended up getting more pattern points in Teleop. So they ended up getting all 6 ranking points, which is very good, and something that teams need to be doing in these league tournaments and beyond, because the artifact numbers are going to increase, and we've seen that with some of the competitions, such as Washington State, and some of those where they go up to 42. And so teams are going to have a much harder time getting those. So being able to hit the pattern, hit the leave, and hit that threshold is going to be something that teams are going to want to be looking out for, because it's going to very much help them to stand out and get that high ranked in the competitions. Overall, this match has been a very good one to look at. We can see how Quantum and Cyber can adapt their strategies, going from Cyber from far to close, and Quantum going to different places on the field on the opposing alliance's side, because with how they played, they didn't have to go over to their alliance side once. So just looking at that, we can see that there's a lot to learn. We can see that with the fast shooter and how fast the robots are, they can do that and be in and out and not have to worry about other contact. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you think this is going to be a strategy that you guys will see more of or less of. But until then, stay up to date on all the fun related content. And I'm Anthony FUNalysis, signing out.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. Studica Robotics is inspiring teams to build better robots with their new array of FTC team options. Check out their updated bevel gears and Maverick hex shaft motors, Planetary gearbox options, and 6mm hex components and shafts for extreme power transmission. Go to studica.com/robots to learn more and apply for discounts. True competitors know that every second counts. That's why Kettering University challenges you to dive in right away as a first-year student. Participating in robotics programs helps Kettering students secure a valuable co-op. Whatever your interest, Kettering gives you more space to work faster and win faster. Learn more at kettering.edu/first.